Obsidian Flames is almost here, and today we are looking at colorless Pokemon coming in the set. Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And as I said, today we are looking at colorless Pokemon. I've been looking at each type, one type a day, for like 2 weeks now. And almost 2 weeks. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. But today we're on colorless, and we're so close to the end. So close to the end. Then I can rest. Alright, so first colorless Pokemon we have is Pidgey. Pidgey, for a single colorless energy, does 20 damage. Thank you. Thank you, Pidgey. Pidgey setting the example of 1 energy, 20 damage on an evolving basic Pokemon. Awesome. Everything else is what we kind of expect. I would expect bird Pokemon, which are generally pretty fast, to have free retreat, but sadly Pidgey has 1 retreat cost. Not that big of a deal, but still. Next up, we got Pidgeotto with 2 energy, 40 damage. Okay. I've seen a lot of 2 energy, 30 damage, so it's nice to see 2 energy, 40 damage, but we would still want that to be a bit higher. But it is an evolving stage 1. And so I'm assuming Pidgeot EX is where we're really going to see something special. So let's check it out. Ability Quick Search. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 Quick Search ability each turn. That's busted. That is so busted. So when Arceus V-Star was coming out, people thought it was going to be broken because of its V-Power ability, where you can search for any 2 cards in your deck once per game. And Arceus was awesome. Still is, actually. And then Forest Seal Stone became a thing. And that is a tool you attach to a Pokemon V or above. V-Star, V-Max. And that lets you search for 1 card. And people will play a single V and that 1 tool just to have that ability. And now you're telling me a Stage 2 Pokemon will have that ability, but it's not limited to once per game. Yeah. Pidgeot EX is gonna see play. How's its attack? 2 colorless, 120 damage. You may discard a stadium card in play. Yeah, attack, garbage. We don't really care too much about the attack. The ability, though. You may, once during your turn, you may search your deck for a card and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. I don't know what else to say. That is a great ability. Definitely going to see play. If you're playing a Stage 2 deck, I recommend just maybe throwing in a 1-0-1 line of Pidgey to Pidgeot EX with a rare candy and go for it, right? Then just every turn, like, oh man, I need that 1 card to pull off this whole turn. Oh, Pidgeot EX. Let me go grab that 1 card. Beautiful, beautiful ability. What a Pokemon to start off. What a Pokemon evolution line to start off this look at colorless Pokemon. Hopefully the rest are just as interesting. So now we have Kangaskhan. Basic Pokemon. Single energy, 30 damage. 2 energy, 60 damage. Draw 2 cards. Huh. Yep, not as interesting. Granted, it's going to be hard to follow up that Pidgeot. We got Eevee here. We've already seen the 2 Eeveelutions, Espeon and Umbreon. They're in the set. And they weren't too exciting, but let's see this. So 1 colorless energy, cheer up. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. The biggest issue with that is you have to attach an energy to Eevee to use that attack. So then why wouldn't you just attach that energy to another Pokemon? Of course, if you get multiples of attacks with this Eevee, then it becomes worthwhile because, you know, you attach one to Eevee, use its attack attached to one. Next turn, attach to whatever Pokemon you want, use its attack to attach to another one. At that point, you are getting Sorry. You are getting some value out of it, but it's unlikely for a 70 HP Pokemon to survive even one turn. So, yeah, not that great. 2 energy, 20 damage also. No one cares enough, really. So we have Zigzagoon. This might be the first Zigzagoon we've seen since Galarian Zigzagoon was introduced. So it's nice to see the Ziggy boy back. Zigzagoon for 1 energy, 10 damage, 2 energy, 20 damage. That's just too low of numbers. And then Linoon, we've got a single energy, 40 damage, 3 energy, 150 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. That 150 damage is a good number. You're 2-hit KOing a bunch of Pokemon. Doing the 30 damage to yourself is too bad, but at the same time, it's 110 HP Pokemon. It's not surviving long anyways. So, yeah, I don't think it's really a bad card at all. And I could see some real fun happening with it being a colorless Pokemon. You can use anything to really accelerate the energy, but you also have reversal energy, which will count as all 3 if you're behind on prizes, right? So you don't even need that. And like I said, you're 2-hit KOing just about everything. We really need that choice belt against EXs. That will really make a difference. Next up, we have Swablu here. Single colorless energy, fluffy guard. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage. 2 energy, 20 damage. We've already seen the Altaria yesterday. I don't really think the Altaria was anything too great. It was interesting for sure, but I don't think it was strong enough. And this Swablu doesn't make it any better. And I didn't think it was going to, but wanted to hold off all judgment until then. Still had some judgment in the video. Maybe too much. I was pretty tired then. And I'm pretty tired now. So who knows? Next up, we've got the whole Lillipup line. So first up, we got Lillipup with 1 energy, rear kick, and 20 damage. Like we expect to see, like we want to see. 1 energy, 20 damage. Then we have the Herdier, stage 1 that evolved from Lillipup. 1 energy, 30 damage. 2 energy, 50 damage. Okay, but not great. And then we have Stoutland, the final stage 2 Pokemon in this evolution line. 1 energy, Chomp Chomp Panic, 50 times damage. This does 50 for each colorless, or for each energy in your opponent's active's retreat cost. So, again, like Spidops, right? There was another Pokemon. I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember. But the biggest issue with this is that Stoutland doesn't have anything that increases the retreat cost of your opponent's Pokemon, right? So how exactly are you going to power up this Stoutland? I do like the 50 per. It can outpace Spidops by what? Not 3 energy, 4, not 4, maybe 5 retreat cost? I don't know. But eventually it does outpace Spidops. I don't know if you really need to outpace Spidops. The biggest issue is Spidops has more survivability than Stoutland. Spidops being a 260 Pokemon, while Stoutland's a 160. Pretty big difference. And Stoutland is a stage 2 compared to Spidops stage 1, and the fact that Spidops has the ability to increase their retreat cost. I just don't see a reason to play Stoutland instead of Spidops, or even with Spidops, right? But a single energy is very nice for the attack cost. And then we have 3 colorless energy, 140 damage, just in case your opponent has less than 3 retreat cost. Stoutland's 3 energy attack can do 140. So, not bad. I don't know. 1 colorless energy, find a friend. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. The benefit of this is that it searches for any Pokemon, not just a basic, and you put it in your hand. The bad part is it is put into your hand, so you're not getting to play it immediately. You don't get the benefits of that. So if you're looking for basics, there's other Call for Family attacks that are better, and if you're looking for evolutions, I would highly recommend the Indeedee from Scarlet Violet. As for a single energy, you pick one of your Pokemon in play, and you evolve it. You search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from it, and you evolve it. Where, like, you won't get the effect of when you play it from your hand to evolve this Pokemon, but you get the Pokemon in play immediately, and if it's a basic that goes all the way to a stage 2, you get the stage 1 in, and then your next turn you can put the stage 2 in. So, I don't know, just doesn't seem good enough. There seems to be other Pokemon that for a single energy get you a little bit more. And then for 3 energy, 80 damage, no thank you. Buffalo Knot. So I've never seen a good Buffalo Knot card, and I'm hoping this changes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The ability, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. Okay. And then for 2 colorless, 50 damage plus, flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 30 more for each heads. That's interesting. I kind of like that. If you're ever in a situation where you just have one final attack, hopefully you can make something happen and you play double colorless. A Buffalo Knot might actually be worthwhile, because then it's just like, okay, I'm going to do 50. Well, 30 because double turbo energy. But I'm just going to flip heads, and hopefully I get X number of heads, and I'll be able to win the game with that. So that's interesting at the very least. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Probably not something you want to absolutely rely on. Obviously, if there's better options out there, go for it. But I do kind of like it as a last-ditch effort attack of, I have nothing else to do. I might as well just do this, and you just flip until you get the KO, or until you get tails and you lose, right? It might take a lot of luck, but you never know. I've been in those situations where you flip a bunch of coins and you get like 16 heads in a row, and it's just like, what? How do I heal that much with Lucky Ice Pop? You know, like, those are always terrible and funny. Next up, we've got Bunnelby. We've already seen the Diggerbee in the fighting type, so for a single colorless energy, 10 times damage, flip 2 coins. This attack does 10 for each heads. Kind of whatever. If it was 3 coins, I would be down for it, but since it's only 2, it's just not doing enough for me, sadly. Now we have Yungoos here with a single colorless energy, knock away. 10 plus damage, flip a coin, if heads, this attack does 10 more. I like this more than Bunnelby, I have to admit, but it's still not great, right? So, Yungoos does evolve into Gumshoes. Gumshoes, single energy, 30 damage, 2 energy, 60 damage. Discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That could be huge. Being able to discard energy doesn't have to be a special energy. It can be regular energy. But being able to do that, you mix that in with other techs of, like, discarding energy and somehow removing energy from the Pokemon, and you can really run an opponent out of energy. That is a interesting attack. The 60 damage is a little low, but with that added bonus of discarding energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, not on a coin flip or anything, you just do it, I think that's enough of an upswing that this could see a rare amount of play, but be in some sort of control deck that is, you know, trying to remove your opponent's energy and do something else, right? I do like this Gumshoes. I think it's got some jank to it, right? And that's really what we're here to look for, is jank cards. Next up, we've got Squilvet. Squilvet for a single energy, sneak a bite, discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and another single energy, 10 damage. I still prefer the Squilvet with the nesting whatever ability, where you take your hand, shuffle it, put it at the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. That, mixed with Barbarrel, is really good, and I'm curious if Greedent EX will change that at all. So let's go ahead and take a look. So Greedent EX for a single energy, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put those cards in your hand or discard them and draw 3 cards. That's pretty cool. That's so much card draw. Obviously, it's not doing any damage, but, you know, let's say you're hunting for your double turbo energy in order to do the next attack, which I haven't read yet, but, you know, Get Greedy is a great way to do that. You look at the top 3. Nope, no double turbo in there. I'm going to discard it and draw 3 more. You know, mix that with Squavettes on your bench to ready to evolve into Greedent and barrels ready to draw you more cards. I don't know, this could lead to some pretty consistent decks. Greedent EX for 3 energy, Foolish Rolling, 210 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon can't use Foolish Rolling. I love it. I think Greedent EX is awesome. That is so much fun. Extra consistency, and the fact that it just prevents you from using Foolish Rolling. You can always get out of that with Switch, Free Retreater, recommend Cyclizar, and whatnot, but you could also just then use Get Greedy, right? You can still use your other attack. You're not prevented from attacking at all. You just can't use the Foolish Rolling. I love Greedent. I think that could be a very fun deck. Very, very janky, but, you know, 190 damage is really good. My wife's been playing Oinklage, right? Oinklage EX, and that has the that one attack where you do 210, you flip a coin, and if heads, you can attack next turn. If tails, you can't attack at all. It does have the benefit of the single energy attack that actually does damage, but Greedent EX could be a fun variant of that deck. And since you're already playing Squavette Barrel in that deck, you just expand the Squavettes into 4 of, the Greedents into 4 of, and you just make sure you always have a Squavette on the bench ready to do that nest thing, and it can just be evolved up. Oh, they knock out my Greedent EX, I need a new one. I'll just evolve up this one that I have on the bench, promote that, evolve it up, let's go, right? You mix it with Sharon's Care, it'll be more difficult to get the 3 energy on there, but still, I really, really like Greedent EX. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's other things you could do. Anything that attacks based off hand size, Greedent EX is a great partner for, I think. Yeah, I love it. I think it's really good. Lechonk. Speaking of my wife's Oinklage deck, we've got 3 new Lechonks. And I hope they're fun. So, the first one has 70 HP, single energy, 10 damage, 2 energy, 20 damage. The second one has 60 HP, so 10 HP less, but single energy, 20 damage. I like that a little bit more. And then the third Lechonk has some crazy artwork. Honestly, all 3 of these artworks are adorable, but the last one has some crazy artwork here. 2 energy, disarming voice, 20 damage. The opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Adding in that confusion, I think, makes that a little bit worth it. But the main sticking point I'm seeing for me is the single energy retreat cost on the 60 HP Lechonk. I think that, even more so than the single energy 20 damage, makes that card for me. Now, maybe the 10 energy is different. With weakness, you're looking at a 30 damage attack from a fighting type to KO this Lechonk. Obviously, you're going to want to play Dunsparce with it, but still, I don't know, that 10 damage could be enough. And then we've got, 2 Oinklage cards. Now, maybe one of these can become an alternate attacker in an Oinklage deck. That way you have a single prize attacker, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's check them out. The first one, 2 Colorless energy, Hula Hula Perfume, I don't know, 30 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. 3 energy, Immersion Kick, 160 damage, flip a coin. If tails, this Pokemon also does 60 damage to itself. That is half its health. I'm not in love with it, but the 160, you can't deny that is pretty good. And if you flip heads, nothing happens to you. So that's pretty good overall. I would just worry about KOing myself, especially if you're attacking twice with it. And first time you flip tails, you do 60. Second time you flip tails, you are knocking yourself out. And that's if you do get to attack a second time, right? So, yeah, it's not bad, but yeah, it's not bad. It could be fun. I just don't see myself building a deck around it, right? You do have the option of reversal energy with it, but do you really want to use that on Oinklage, or would you rather use it on a Luxray, right? Alright, we have another one. I like that's the two different versions. I think it's like male, female. Not 100% sure which one's the male, which one's the female. Excuse me. But, yeah, I like that they're taking that into account with card art. So, we have another Oinklage here, 2 colorless energy, pick and choose, flip 3 coins, put a number of cards up to the number of heads from your discard pile into your hand. Oh, dang. That can get crazy. Number of cards, that's items, trainers, Pokemon, energy, anything you want. It's flippy, but statistically, getting 1 heads out of that ain't bad, and those turns you get 3 heads is going to be phenomenal, right? I think that can lead to some busted decks. Someone's going to do something with it, right? I don't know. It's one of those things where it has uncapped potential, because how you use it is going to vary widely, and someone is going to figure out something broken with it, right? They've got to. There's better players out there than me that will be able to find something broken, I think. Alright, there's also a 3 energy attack, 70 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. We just went from the first Oinklage having 3 energy, 160 damage, to the second one, 3 energy, 70 damage plus confusion. I don't really see that being equal, right? Maybe if this was like 140 damage plus confusion, so if they flip tail, that's 170, so you're actually outpacing the other one, but if they hit heads, they're going to attack you and most likely KO you, you know? Like, I don't know. Not in love with that second attack, but that first attack looks killer. Holy cow. Now we have a Flamigo here. Single energy, 20 damage. Nice. 2 energy, Synchro Feather, 60 damage. If you have any Flamigos on your bench, this attack does 60 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Cool. So 60 plus 60 on the bench. Right now, Manaphy is kind of everywhere, so that's not going to come in play enough. But when Manaphy leaves in a year and a half, this could be a pretty fun deck. We'll have to wait and play it out. Honestly, Manaphy might see a dip in play after next rotation due to Rapid Strike Urshifu disappearing. But, yeah, that's a fun one. I don't think it's powerful enough to really make a full deck just based on this. But imagine, like, the United Wings, right? I know this isn't going to be great in that deck. You'll probably just want another United Wings Flamigo to get rid of it. But could be a fun alternative attacker, especially early game. You know, say you start this. You'll play as Singleton, so I don't think that's going to happen. But say you start this, and then you play the other one, get the other 2 in your hand to discard. Well, you have that one on the bench anyways. This is now doing 60-60. I don't know, that could be interesting. Yeah, and that's it for the colorless Pokemon. Now, the ones that stand out to me, for sure, Greedent EX, Gumshoes, those 2 definitely stand out for me. Stoutland, kind of. Lanoon? Yeah, I like Lanoon. I really like Lanoon and Pidgeot. Pidgeot EX is busted. It is so freaking good. So Pidgeot, Lanoon, nah, I'm going to take Stoutland off that list. I just don't think there's enough for it to be good enough. Gumshoes and Greedent EX. And I think that's it, honestly. I think those are my choices for the most interesting, probably most jankful version or cards in the colorless grouping here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Are there any colorless Pokemon you're looking to play? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the final card type set review. We're going over the trainer cards, and if there's any special energy, those as well. It's the last one of this set, and I hope you're looking forward to it. And honestly, trainer cards are usually the most exciting, so be sure to check that out. Of course, go ahead and check out the Discord as well, where there's some awesome people there that we can talk to about deck building and all that stuff. I'll see you there. And of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.